This video is sponsored by the fine folk over at SCD Keys. On this channel, we're always talking about saving money and getting great deals, and that's what you can do by picking up a $50 PlayStation Store card from SCD Keys. If you head over to their website, link is down below, and search for a $50 PlayStation Store card, you'll find it. Go ahead and add it to your card, and use our specialized promo code GC3 to save 3% on your order. That'll bring the cost of the card down to $46.64. You can check out and choose your method of payment. Your key will show up on your account, and boom, just like that, you got a $50 PSN card a little bit cheaper. Not only do they have great deals on PlayStation Store credit, they also have Windows 10 and other software heavily discounted, and you can get great deals on those as well. Again, check out the link to SCD Keys in the description box below. In today's video, I'll be giving you guys a heads up on a great deal for Marvel Spider-Man. Yes, the game was released today, but you can already get the game at a little bit of a discount. On top of that, we've got a new Final Fantasy game confirmed for the PlayStation 4. However, it might not be the Final Fantasy experience you're looking for, but nonetheless, I wanted to cover that. Speaking of Final Fantasy, Square Enix has announced their full Tokyo Game Show lineup, and there are a lot of exciting games that they're prepping up for the show, so we'll give you the heads up on that. Zone of the Enders: The Second Run to Mars just had a release, but a studio wants to make a brand new Zone of the Enders game, and that sounds very, very exciting. Would love to see that. Mega Man 11 has gotten a fresh demo on the PlayStation 4, so check that out if you're a fan of the Blue Bomber and you're excited for his return. And finally, a brand new Earth Defense Force game will be hitting stateside later in 2019. More on that at the end of this video. First up, Marvel Spider-Man was released today. Everybody and their grandmother are playing it right now, but for some reason, if you have yet to pick it up, you can do so at a little bit of a discount. If you go over to Fry's Electronics and you sign up for their email promotional codes, you can do so over on their official website. You can get a Marvel Spider-Man $10 off promo code. Yes, not a significant discount, but considering the game was released today, the fact that you're getting it $10 off is great, so you'll be getting it for $49.99 instead of $59.99. Also, thanks over to r/PS4 deals. They pointed out that if you are a first-time buyer on Google Express, you can get it $10 off as well for $49.99, so already one of the best PlayStation 4 games so far, and it was just released today. You can already get it at a little bit of a discount. So I've been saying in a lot of recent videos, if you're paying $59.99 for games, you should really reevaluate what you are doing. Yes, there are certain games that are worth the full $60, but considering that there are often times that even prior to launch or day of release, you can get them for a little bit of a discount, like we see here with Marvel Spider-Man, you really shouldn't be paying $60 for games all the time. Moving on from that, Final Fantasy 15 Pocket Edition HD is coming to the PlayStation 4. Yes, it's not the new Final Fantasy experience we were looking for. It's not the FF7 remake, but Final Fantasy 15 Pocket Edition is a quirky little recreation of Final Fantasy 15, originally released on mobile platforms. It has all the Final Fantasy characters in chibi form. It has a lot of recreated moments of the game. Not the entire FF15 experience, but it's a quirky little game, and I think for big Final Fantasy fans, FF15 Pocket Edition is something to take a look at. And you can enjoy the FF15 story across 10 exciting chapters. Game is at a hefty price. It's enjoying a 40% off discount for its launch, but it's still at $18, and its regular price is going to be $30. I think that's a little bit on the pricey side, but hey, a quirky little game, and I'm sure if you're a fan of Final Fantasy, it's something to check out.
Truth. You know where to find me.
No going back. Only ways forward. No going back. Let's go.
Do not surrender to despair. Have faith, for our gods watch over us.
Speaking of Final Fantasy and Square Enix has announced their entire Tokyo Game Show lineup, so let's take a look at the games that will be there, what's gonna be playable, etc. Kingdom Hearts 3 will be at the Tokyo Game Show, and it'll be fully playable. It'll have a stage presentation and video content showcased at the booth. That'll be the case with Dragon Quest Builders 2 and Final Fantasy 14 as well. I'm sure we'll see some FF14 content. The World Ends With You Final Remix, the Nintendo Switch remaster of that game, will have video content and a stage presentation. Just Cause 4 will have a live stream from the studio and video content. Shadow of the Tomb Raider will get the same treatment. However, that game would have already been released prior to Tokyo Game Show, so that's not a big deal. And we do know we're gonna get video content for Gestalt Odin, Fantasy Earth Genesis, and Final Fantasy 15. I imagine that's gonna be for the new season pass content. content, so that'll be pretty exciting. And Left Alive is also confirmed to be there. The game that's set in the front mission universe, many gamers have compared it to Metal Gear Solid. Game went absent for a little bit, but still very much in development. Probably going to be a 2019 game, so I'm excited to see more of that. And there will be more unannounced games there. I think the game that everybody wants to see at the Tokyo Game Show from Square Enix is, of course, Final Fantasy VII Remake. That game was announced all the way back in 2015. We got that great gameplay trailer later that year at the PlayStation Experience, and since then the game has been absolutely absent. It's been nearly 3 years since we got the last bit of information on the Final Fantasy VII Remake. Please, Tokyo Game Show this year, can we get some more content for the FF7 Remake? I'm sure that Square Enix does want to get Kingdom Hearts 3 out of the way, and then it's full steam ahead with the FF7 Remake, but still just give me something, a story trailer, a gameplay trailer. It doesn't have to be a complete live gameplay, but just something that is assuring me that the game is still making some progress, which I'm sure it is, but at this point, I'm left to believe that it's doing so at a snail's pace. We'll find out soon enough at the Tokyo Game Show. That'll be running between September 20th and September 23rd, and we'll give you guys all the updates on that during the big show. Moving on from that, we just had the release of Zone of the Enders, the second run on Mars. Maybe some of you are unaware of that fact because there have been so many games coming out, and a remaster of a PlayStation 2 title that's not really going to take the forefront when you have games like Marvel Spider-Man, Dragon Quest XI, Shadow of the Tomb Raider upcoming up. Zone of the Enders, the second run on Mars, has just gotten a little bit under the radar, but Zone of the Enders is a fantastic franchise, and it looks like Side Games wants to make a new Zone of the Enders title. Here's what Kenshi Koto said to Dengeki Online. Of course, as a company, we feel like we'd make a completely new entry. We're talking to Konami about considering a sequel if this one sells and is received well, so it would be great if everyone could buy it. So it seems like Side Games is cooperating with Konami on a possible brand new Zone of the Enders title, and I would love to see a third Zone of the Enders game. I just do question the fact of how will the second run on Mars sell because it is being released at such a busy time. I think if this remaster was released over the summer, it would have made a far bigger impact, but now you're releasing it right when all of these big games are coming out, and are people really gonna go back and check out a remaster of a PlayStation 2 game? Yes, it's been remastered very well, got 4K visuals, optional VR support, but still, I just don't think the timing was right for Zone of the Enders, the second run on Mars, a game that I personally did pick up, but with Marvel Spider-Man out, if you own a PlayStation 4, chances are you are gonna be busy with that game. But still, let's hope it does commercially well enough. It was released at a budget $30 price point, so it's a very low investment, so definitely do check it out if you want a quality mech-based game. Moving on from that, Mega Man 11 has gotten a demo on the PlayStation 4. For fans of the Blue Bomber, make sure you check this out. You'll get a little bit of a snippet of what the full game will entail when it's released in October. You got an entire level, and then you do fight off against a boss. It's not a lengthy demo, but it does give you a little idea of what you'll expect out of Mega Man 11, and it's your typical Mega Man fare. It's pretty good, so give that a download. Of course, as always, a demo is absolutely free, so you've got nothing to lose to check out Mega Man 11, and considering that Mega Man has been absent from public mind with a new game in quite a little while, we did have the Mega Man X Legacy Collection, but as far as a brand new entry, Mega Man 11 is somewhat of a novelty as it's being released on October 2nd. And lastly, we have a release window confirmation for Earth Defense Force Iron Rain. That is coming sometime in 2019. We've talked quite a bit about Earth Defense Force Iron Rain. If you guys don't know, Earth Defense Force is typically a very zany, very arcadey franchise, but with Iron Rain, it does seem to have a more realistic tone to it. I'm sure it'll be a very arcadey and very fun experience nonetheless, but it does have some cool new elements with all these mechs and a more realistic visual style, so I can definitely get behind that. Something a little bit fresh is always going to be appreciated by me. There are EDF experiences already available on the PlayStation 4, so if you want that traditional EDF game, you can do so, but a brand new title in Iron Rain will be coming stateside in 2019.
We're growing weary, while they keep evolving. Even now, we're beyond the breaking point. But it's still too soon to despair. If you have a weapon, fight alongside us.
And that's going to be concluding this video. Like I mentioned at the top, you can get a really good deal on Marvel Spider-Man, $10 off over at Fry's. Use Google Express, you might be able to get 20% off if it is your first purchase. Final Fantasy 15 Pocket Edition has been released on PlayStation 4 and Xbox One for that matter. It is enjoying a 40% off launch discount. It is relatively expensive, regularly going for $30. Right now you can get it for $18, but I still think that's a hefty investment. So we'll see how that game goes. Square Enix has announced their entire TGS lineup: Kingdom Hearts 3, left alive, and some unannounced games will probably be there. Hopefully we see a glimpse of the Final Fantasy VII Remake. I know so many of us would love to see that. Side Games wants to make a brand new Zone of the Enders title, as long as Zone of the Enders The Second Runner Mars does well, so if you have yet to check that out and you want a new Zone of the Enders game, buying that probably isn't a bad idea, and again, it is a relatively low investment at just $30. Mega Man 11 has a free demo available on the PSN store, and Earth Defense Force Iron Rain will be hitting the West sometime in 2019. That's gonna conclude this video. Sound off with all of your thoughts in the comments section down below. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.